The following audio may contain the personal testimonials of some independent OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to healthy living and weight loss will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. In addition, this audio may contain income or earnings representations of some independent OPTAVIA coaches. OPTAVIA makes no guarantee of financial success. Success with OPTAVIA results from successful sales efforts, which requires hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Please see the OPTAVIA income disclosure statement for statistics on actual earnings of coaches under the U.S. compensation plan, which differs from the international compensation plan. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.
Hey everyone, welcome to the coach call, part of this call, Inspiring Stories of Transformation.
Yeah, tonight we're going to spend a little time and talk about what is it like, what's going on with this coach thing. I've got this guy that's been calling me, I've got this lady that's been sending me messages and directing me to these things, and what do they do? How do they do that? Well, let's talk about that. Let's step into that. I'm Mike. This is my wife, Sumer.
Hi, you guys. So great to meet you. And on your screen right now, we pulled just a couple pictures to share what our journey's been like as coaches with OPTAVIA. We have 3 boys, and you can see in the middle, there's a picture of us at Disney World. One of our dreams when we first came into coaching, well, actually,
that was last July.
That was last July.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, just to be absolutely honest with you, I would say our dreamer was a little bit busted when we first became coaches. Our coaches, Doug and Tia, would ask us the question, well, what do you dream of? What do you desire for your future? And it was really hard for us to come up with any answers to that. At least it was for me.
How many's feeling that way right now in the current events, current situation? You can put a 1 in the chat. If you're feeling a little bit like, what are you talking about dreaming? We've got to get through some stuff right now. That's where we were 6 years ago before we started coaching. Mentality of being stuck.
Yeah. And
it wasn't all mentality. I think it stems from it, but there were some real things going on. I mean, when I logged into the bank account, I'm like, oh, nice. Break out the ramen and we're going to make it an adventure camping night in the living room, boys. My gosh.
And it's been beautiful to see our dreams awaken.
Mm-hmm.
And one of our dreams was to take our boys to Disney World in Orlando.
And we did.
And we got to bring my parents along with us. It was such a beautiful experience for us. So in the chat, what do you dream of doing right now? Let's dream a little bit together. If you could dream of going somewhere, traveling, where would you dream to travel? And another wonderful thing that OPTAVIA has done for us is brought some amazing people in our lives that have literally become like family to us.
Yeah, that's over at a convention. That's in that's Florida.
That was the same year.
Right,
yeah.
right. It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that crowd of people. They're amazing, amazing people that we absolutely love. I don't know if really, if we would have said no, it'd just be me and Sumer in some hotel ballroom, which probably we would do anyway without any people around us. But man, it's an amazing opportunity. So what we are part of is absolutely incredible. The credibility of our company, I'm so proud to be part of a mission and also a structured out organization that is helping us all succeed. I mean, it's pretty powerful what we're a part of and what we get to do and what we get to share. And really, it's helping people create lifelong transformation.
It really is. And Dr. Anderson, when he started this program, he saw the need in our country to not just have a Band-Aid put on a problem, but to actually solve it. And it's been a beautiful process to see people get their moms back, get their dads back, and be more active and participate in their lives. That's what happened to me. I used to come home from work with absolutely no energy. And now I come home, or actually now I work from home.
Right.
But when I was working, I'd come home and I was a ball of energy still. So my boys had a very active, involved mom.
Mm-hmm. And now we get to coach full time, be home together. It's awesome. And something we've worked for, right? So this lifelong transformation thing, what's that all about? What are you trying to say there? Well, it's a journey, right? One healthy habit at a time. See that underneath there? These are really well thought out things. If you look at this logo, you look at the way that it's shaped, you look at what's going on there. It's talking about the radians in our lives, the time frames of what we move through on a daily basis. Pretty powerful stuff. You step back and think. So now let's look at the reality.
Worldwide statistics, obesity has nearly tripled since 1975. Most of the world's population live in countries where overweight and obesity kills more people than underweight. American statistics, it's crazy. Almost a third of adults with partners, 31%, report that money is a major source of conflict in the relationship.
And then 69% of workers are stressed over their finances, with 72% admitting to worrying about their personal finances at work. 72% worrying about personal finances. And I'm wondering what that is right now, where those stats are in our current situation.
Maybe a lot higher.
Yes,
I
would think so.
What I love about our program is that we have 4 components. It is not just diet focused. That's one part of our program. You have a coach in your corner, someone on this journey with you, alongside you, helping you map out the way. You have the incredible Habits of Health transformational system.
We were just talking about that on the last call.
Yeah, it's
cool stuff.
It's a game changer for you to reach your goal.
Mm-hmm.
This community that has been just a lifeline for me. And then the fuelings that we love.
Brownie mania over here. Sorry if we're taking all the brownies.
Right? It's true. You know, with this whole program, one of the things that I thought about was who I wanted to be on this journey with me. And on the screen, you see one of my best friends of all time. This woman has journeyed with me now for what, like 16 years almost.
Yeah.
And now she's a partner. She's in this journey of OPTAVIA with us. Carrie, come on the screen and share a little bit about your story.
Gosh, I am so honored to share tonight. Thank you so much. You know, just thinking about this, 16 years hanging out with Sumer and Mike, what a blessing. And truthfully, I had watched them. I had watched them on this journey, and I had a lot of concepts. I had concepts of what this was and what we were about and what we were doing. And in that process, just so you know, a little background, I am a single mom. I have those 4 awesome kids that you saw on the screen. And we had gotten to a place of just really hard. I think single mom is a word that's kind of like labor, where everybody knows it's hard. You know it's difficult, but until you've experienced it, there's not quite a word to say that describes what goes on. And somehow in the process of separating from my ex-husband and trying to provide for the kids, I very quickly started to lose myself. I got to a point of desperation in our life where I was working, gosh, it makes me emotional to think of it. I was working 60 plus hours a week. My children were small. The little dreams that I had for our family, it's like a dandelion when you can see the little floaties floating away. I could just see my little dreams just kind of drifting off, and my heart was starting to break. Meanwhile, my amazing advocates for life, Mike and Sumer, were saying, I think you would love this. I think you would love this. Oh, no. I waited until we were so stuck. I waited until there was no other way. And I told Sumer I would give her a chance. I would give this a chance. If you can see, I don't have a before and after. I had no weight to lose. I was actually a fairly healthy person on the outside, but inside, in my mind, my spirit, my finances, guys, I was falling apart. I was completely falling apart. I didn't even know me anymore. With jumping in, honestly, before I really even started understanding the business, this community, this people coming together, the values, the inspiration, I could feel little pieces of me coming back together. It was like being poured into, I, as a mom, as a woman, I feel like we're just giving all the time. But it was a season of my life where I feel like I was starting to heal. I needed the people. You know, they say it takes a village to raise a child. I think it takes OPTAVIA to raise a human. I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful for this because I started to question my thinking, question my mindsets, start really working on this. This was the biggest habit change I needed. This was not okay. And I'm so thankful that that is one of the major things that we do is we work on not just the outside body, we work on our minds, we work on our hearts, we work in a community of people that are just inspiring and amazing and supportive and can see the good in us when we can't see it ourselves. And so I'm so thankful to say that, you know, now I've been doing this for about 4 years. I'm still a single mom. My babies are 4 years older now than they were when I first started, which is just a different season. It's always different. It's always new and growing. But I look at, you can't find a before and after of me, really. It's hard to show that, right? That internal change. I wish I could. I wish I could show you the difference. I wish I could show you the hope that we have now, the mindset, the shift that we have now. It's really indescribable. And I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful for the power of this community, of this program, of the mind shift. Thank you, Dr. A, for the materials that we have to be able to challenge ourselves. And I'm just so grateful, so grateful. So as a single mom, this is all I do. Quit all my jobs. I'm home full time with my babies. And we are truly creating our best life.
Man, Carrie, I'm just so thankful you said yes. And I'm thankful for those 4 beautiful, well, my nieces and nephews, and how much your yes is changing their current reality.
You know, I love what you said, Carrie Ann, about OPTAVIA raising humans, raising us as adults. I think we all need a little bit of help. And I love the journey that you've gone through and the transparency and the stories. The story is amazing, and that's what the world wants. They want to create a story. They want to change their story. I think we all do right here. All of us in this group right here. I'm looking at the number. There's about 2,213 of up 22 and 12. I'm just, just offended. No, I'm kidding. But there's a few thousand of us on this Zoom right now that desire more. We're hungry for more. We just want to get healthy. Many of you are sitting back exploring, like, dude, somebody just invited me. I don't even know what you're talking about. Just no problem. Just listen to these stories, listen to the hope of what's happening, because it's real stuff happening today. And it is powerful, you guys. I'm telling you, it's an amazing thing that we're a part of. It's really cool.
And if you are going, okay, well, I want that. What Carrie Ann just described, I want that. The way she received it was just leaning in and not quitting, staying in this journey, moving forward and desiring growth. That's truly where the game changer is. Those that win in OPTAVIA are those that don't quit, those that move forward. And, what I love about our program is that we offer optimal health, a healthy mind, a healthy body, and healthy finances. All of those are so important for your overall health.
So real quick right now, where are you? What would you score yourself? This is something we do often. This probably sounds familiar, right? Top of your head, off the top of your head, 1 not being good at all, 10 is amazing, perfection. Where are you with your healthy mind, healthy body, healthy finances? Look at your current reality. This is the way it really is. And we did this, and I remember being on a Zoom with our coaches.
I'm like, is there a negative? Can you say negative?
Our healthy finances there was no health involved with our finances. They were pretty sick. And mindset, not bad. Healthy body, coming out of some stuff. But man, healthy finances, we're just not in a good place. And what's beautiful about looking at your current reality is that's your starting point to begin taking back your power.
That's right?
So take it back, guys. If you're listening and you're brand new, take it, grab it. That's something you can control nowadays. There's not a lot we can right now, but you can control that. You can control your mindset, your body, what you're fueling yourself, and then stepping into coaching others. We can talk about that, how cool it is.
When we became a coach, we actually jumped in as a client and the coach at the same time before I had even lost any weight. And the reason why was because I knew that if I wanted to move forward in my health, I needed some accountability. And becoming a coach and walking with people on this journey as they're walking with you on your own journey, it reinforces that decision to be healthy. And it helps me when I'm paying it forward to them and making a difference in their life. It's so much fun and incredibly rewarding.
It really, I'm wearing this shirt I was talking about on the last call with all the clients, all of our clients and everything. This is from a rewards trip that we earned, and it says adventure awaits. So
we've had so many fun adventures.
It was an amazing adventure, and there's more that's awaiting, but there are some things, there's some steps to walk through. There's some things to do to create that adventure. And I love this compensation right here. I haven't really heard it termed this way, but the currency of goodwill. That's cool. That's what I think people are in deficit right now around this world. And I'm beginning to see some of it pop up, but that's a currency that we thrive in. We're all rich in goodwill within OPTAVIA. And then actual financial needs and goals. Lay those things out, and then boom, step forward so that you can begin to leave the legacy and actually live out a legacy in front of your family, and then leave that and create that for them.
Yeah, our growth model is so progressive. And I love this about OPTAVIA. You start out as a coach, and then you grow into a business coach, and then you grow into being a business leader. It's a stepping, it's like stepping into growth and new seasons. And as we've moved along, Mike and I, in this journey, the growth has been absolutely mind-blowing.
It really has. When it talks about, on the last slide, we were talking about that currency. Our PowerPoint is just so excited tonight. That currency of goodwill, I did not know what I didn't know when it comes to personal development and growth and mindset shifting and learning how to shift out of guilt and blame and shame and get agile and move through stuff rather than trying to punch through junk. Like, you can move out of the way of these things. It's so cool. And you don't have to become a business coach, business leader. That's what I love too about OPTAVIA.
It's your journey.
It's whatever you desire. And step in and coach a few folks. Coach your family, coach your friends. Watch what happens though, because stuff starts opening up and you start saying, hey, maybe I could help a couple of these guys become coaches. And then, shoot, man, I want to build something here.
We want everyone to join us.
Yeah.
And with that being said, when we first became coaches, one of the very first people we thought about joining us on this mission was Julianne Lasserot. And we sought after this girl because she is such a contagious spirit. So Julianne, come off mute and share a little bit about your story.
Wow, it is just so exciting to be here, you guys. I can't even begin to just describe what has happened in my life, and looking at these pictures, I get choked up as well, but I want to hone it in and just bring forth just my story, and I know that it's for someone out there. So what started as my health, putting that as a priority, really was the catalyst for greater change in my life. As I got those steps in order in my own life, it brought clarity to other areas of my life that I had basically settled in. And as I was navigating through our coaching community, I saw what other coaches were doing, and I've always had this mindset that if somebody else can do it, then why can't I? And so I told myself, you know what? These areas of my life that I'm starting to notice that I am not so satisfied in, I know that it's possible to make that different. And I know that it's possible to make that different through this amazing gift of coaching. And so I want to share with you guys some of the incredible things that has happened. So first of all, my husband and I, we were on the hamster wheel. He was working graveyard shift, and you guys, I have been married for 14 years, and for so many of those years, I went to that alone. I had dinner alone with my beautiful daughter while Daddy was working graveyard, and I was concerned about his safety. I always slept terribly without him by my side, and I had seen other coaches coming home, bringing their spouses home from their jobs, and I thought, you know what? I think I can do that, and I think I want to do that, and I think that that would be a great thing for us. And so, seeing that my husband wasn't super passionate about his job, and seeing that graveyard is just terrible for a person's health, I put it on my board and I shared that with my coaches. And that, you guys, I will say I have done. And it's one of the most amazing things that has happened for our family is bringing my husband home from his job, and we get to sleep side by side and have dinner together as a family and raise our daughter together. But wait, you guys, it gets so much better. You see, OPTAVIA, you can be OPTAVIA anywhere. You can move wherever you want to go. You don't have to stay put. And with, making it so my husband didn't have to work at a JOB, we were able to roll out a map and look and say, if we could go anywhere, where would we go? And you know what, you guys? We wrote down that we wanted to buy a house and we wanted to move. And we did that. We did that a year ago, coming up on 1 year. And the dreams just keep unfolding as my coaches keep asking me, what do you want? What else is in there? And dream with me. And I just kept dreaming as I coached others. And one of the dreams was once we moved, I started to get courage. I had always wanted to homeschool my daughter, but I just didn't have the bandwidth in the past. And there was always so many different reasons why it just couldn't happen. But you guys, I had time and I had the finances. And so we had the bandwidth. And at first we put her in a private school when we moved. But 2 months into her new school, I knew right away it was time to pull her. And I didn't have to worry about it. My husband was totally available. We pulled her out of her private school, shifted her into homeschooling, and then fast forward a few months, the rest of the world joined us. And so here we are, just loving where we're living. I'm so thankful to have my husband home. And I'm so thankful to be able to pour into my daughter with my husband. And I'm just so thankful. And it's all because we created options through sharing this gift of coaching and health. OPTAVIA is just an amazing gift. It will, if you can create time and freedom and finances and options. And that's been my story. And I'm just so thankful.
Wow, Julie, I love that. I love that you had a vision in front of you, and then you set the steps in place to make that happen. Mm-hmm. Mike and I have a very similar story in the fact that when we jumped in, we, like I said earlier, as clients and coaches at the same time, Mike had just lost his job.
Mm-hmm. That was pretty fun.
Oh, it was like this beautiful storm, Yeah.
I'm so grateful now. I really mean it. It was crazy, but man, it's gold for us now. Okay, let me talk to some of you in the thick of it, because I'm seeing in the chat and I'm feeling it right now. I see you, I feel it. I'm there 6 years ago with you. Isn't it hard? Isn't it hard to try to look for work, take care of the kids, try to figure out how, okay, hey, let's walk instead of driving the car because we don't have much gas. I think we're going to run out of gas. That's dumb. That's just dumb. So how are we going to change these things? And I understand it's hard to see. So I encourage you, and those of you that are checking this thing out that you got invited to, talk to the person that invited you to this. Those of you that are part of OPTAVIA already, talk with your coach. Let them know how you're feeling, where you are, where your current reality is. Let them feel it too. And then, okay, I got it out. Everything sucks right now. Doesn't it feel that way sometimes? But not everything does. Not everything is sucking right now. There is light. It's there. There's stuff to be grateful for. Start there. Start getting grateful for what you do have. Man, I can breathe. I can see. I can hear. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. Thank you for my legs. I'm so grateful that I have hands. Just start there and then begin to move forward. Talk with your coach and step into these actions that they give you. And we're going to talk about that in a minute.
That's what we did. We were at a place where we were like, tell us what to do. Tell us what to do, and we're going to do it. Yeah. We just want change so bad. And so that's what we did. We leaned into our coaches. What we mean by leaning in is we bugged the heck out of them. What can I do next? What is the next step? And when they told us to do it, we didn't have time for concepts. We didn't have time to think like, oh, I don't want to do that. We just did it because we saw the freedom that they had and we desired that so much. So we leaned into them. We did what they told us to do and we moved forward. And that has changed our lives. So Mike was he had 4 months severance pay from that job. And so at the end of 4 months, we were able to keep him home so he didn't have to go to work because coaching provided his income.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were able to bring me home. I was a general manager and I had 65 employees and 4 managers below me. And I was working all the time.
You were living.
I was pretty much living at the restaurant.
Literally putting fires out.
Literally putting fires out.
The grill's on fire. I got to head over to the restaurant right in the middle of a movie.
And what OPTAVIA has given us is me being home with our family, being able to give our boys, us present, fully present with them, and love our life at the same time. It's absolutely been mind-blowing. You know, that's where, when it comes to you starting this program, how does it work for us coaches? When you lean in to your coach, we have a model that's easy, that's simple for you, and it's focused on whole, optimal well-being.
Mm-hmm. And you're self-employed and independent, which is a really awesome feeling. You are able to create your own schedule, and that's if you're doing this full-time, right? So there are part-time opportunities as well. I mean, you can step into this without any pressure and help a few folks, and that's what I was alluding to earlier. You don't need to build a massive organization on day 2 of coaching. You can, if you want, you can start that action steps and getting into those action steps to build that, but it's really low startup when it comes to costs, low operating costs. There's no inventory to worry about. It's flexible, so you can work from anywhere. As long as you've got a little bit of a phone signal and some internet connection, you can get a ton accomplished. No quotas or monthly purchases required. None of that's required.
And so much training.
Yes, so much training, so much support.
Free training,
yes.
Which is really beautiful. If you've been a part of other businesses, a lot of times you have to go pay to get training, you know, and OPTAVIA provides it free for you.
We hop on Zoom and we get trained. And then we do have our events to show up to, which, man, I cannot wait to get back together in person. But we have awesome online events right now during this season. And I'm telling you, when you make small investments in yourself by learning and coming to some of these larger events, your mind will be blown. It is incredible. So built within is a comprehensive training system. We have an OPTAVIA Learning Center, a complete learning center you can walk through. You can learn as you earn. So from day 1, we started, like she said, okay, let's do this thing. Let's just jump in all the way and do it. We jumped in. My mom wanted to do this too. So she was our first client before our first box of her first day of program arrived. So yes, that might be unconventional, not what everyone does, but that doesn't mean you can't do it too, right?
Well, we team coach,
yeah.
And that's what's great. You don't have to know everything because your business coach is going to mentor you, walk alongside you. And when you have questions, they'll help you with those answers. We employ team coaching the whole way. It's like being an apprentice as you grow as a coach, and you can work at your own pace. This is not, not everybody's pace is the same. It's your journey, and the same with coaching. This is your coaching journey, so you work at your own pace, and it's optional, local, regional, and national wellness and training events. So there's optional events all over the country that we even have right now virtually during this season.
Yeah, and I like it because it's optional. Trust me, you want to go.
We have not missed one since we started coaching.
Yeah, we go to everything that we qualify for. We get there, we figure it out because it is absolutely incredible. So, okay, you just heard all these stories. You heard all these things happening and all these people. And man, now is the time, I would say, for you to really consider this. And if you're curious, so you're sitting back watching this, you somehow came across this recording, reach out to whoever invited you.
Explore it.
Yeah.
What if it's for you?
Mm-hmm.
That was one thing that Mike and I did. We decided to just explore if this could be for us. We were a little bit timid, trepidatious. Trepidatious, is that a word?
Oh yeah.
At first.
Totally.
But then once we explored it with our coaches, we saw that this is our passion. Mm-hmm. It's something that we could be fired up about, to watch lives change, to help this world get healthy, to take on this mission to create health and well-being for so many people, to help children get their parents back, fully present. This has been our passion.
Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, because of the team, because of the community around you, because you've got so many backing you up and they're behind you and they believe in you and they love you. That's all we felt from day one. That is where so much of the success has come from. Now, at the same time, it's taken some work. We want to be open about that. Yeah, if you want to build this thing and come home from jobs and create this as your career, you can step in and do it. Go for it. It will happen. So I want you to see, and I'll leave you with this. See it now. We were talking about living in the midst of the suck, right? That's my current reality. I don't like it. See the future. Imagine it. See it right now. Okay. Now, how can you work backward from there and create those action steps to get you there? Well,
and if you don't believe,
we can help,
let your coach believe for you.
Yes.
They can help you believe. They can help you dream. And that's what our coaches did for us. So we just want to thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for allowing us to share a little bit of our journey and those of our friends with you as well. And explore if this could possibly be for you.
Yeah, just reach out and just explore around. See if it's something you want to step into. It's kind of revolutionize our lives a little bit. So I think you'll really, I don't know. I want you to come with us. Come on.
Come on this journey with us. It's a lot of fun.
Come on. It's really fun.
We'd love to have you. But have a great night, you guys. And we will see you next week. Same time, same place. Bye, everybody.
This audio may have contained the personal testimonials of some independent OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. In addition, this audio may have contained income or earnings representations of some independent OPTAVIA coaches. OPTAVIA makes no guarantee of financial success. Success with OPTAVIA results from successful sales efforts, which requires hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Please see the OPTAVIA income disclosure statement for statistics on actual earnings of coaches under the U.S. compensation plan, which differs from the international compensation plan. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.